Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm back with 3 kitchen gadgets that are supposedly handy and make your life easier. Let's see how they work in today's video. Starting with this, which is the Gravity Electric Pepper and Salt Mills. These are no ordinary salt and pepper mills. They allow for one-handed operation, no twisting involved. Let's see the unboxing and then get started. I paid $23.96 for this, currently a #1 bestseller in this category. Got some of this, I got a little brush. Some instructions. Here they are now. They claims of this electric salt and pepper mills with a gravity sensor, so you don't even have to press a button. One-handed operation. Each unit requires 6 AAA batteries, not included. It includes multiple grinding levels, good for salt, pepper, and other solid grain seasonings. People online who liked it said it's easy to use, easy to adjust, and even fun to operate. Now, there were quite a few complaints from those who didn't like it, saying the salt grinder broke after a few months or it gets stuck with certain types of salt. Others complain that 12 batteries is just too much for something like this. Whenever I use a salt mill, this is the one I usually use. All you do is just twist it out. Pretty easy, pretty easy. But with these, there's no twisting involved. These, however, take 6 batteries, which I have loaded up here. And then right here is a dial where you can adjust the coarseness, so I'll have to see how that works. Now, without anything in there, let's just tip it over and see what happens. Oh yeah, it knows. It knows when it's being tipped over. Very cool. All right, let me load these up. Now, what's interesting is the directions say not to load it up more than 80% of the way up, which is probably about right there. But their box shows it at 100%. Their box is actually breaking their own rules. But we won't do that here. I'll say that's 80%-ish. All right, here we go. I'm not even sure what coarseness level it's set at right now, and there's no real indicator on there. It'd be nice if it could show you from coarse to fine, but it doesn't. You just turn it, and it just kind of keeps turning too. So it looks like it didn't like that. It looks like it's turned all the way to one side. So let's see how coarse or fine that is. Here we go. First test. Oh yeah, oh wow. Oh, that must be fine. That's very fine. Very fine, cool. It actually worked. It looks pretty nice too. Let's try to go in the opposite direction. I'm not sure how far to turn it. It looks like you just keep turning it until it comes out, so I'm not gonna go that far. It just says turn clockwise for fine and counterclockwise for coarse. It doesn't say how far to turn it, so I'll just turn it a couple times and see what happens. So this is all the way over for fine. Let's just do like one full turn over to coarser and see what that does. That's more coarse, I would say. I'll keep going, I'll go in one more turn. It looks pretty good, actually. This was all the way to fine, this was 1 turn, and this was 2 turns. It looks pretty good. I like the fact that you just turn it over, it starts grinding, and then as soon as you turn it back over, it stops. Let's try the pepper now. Let me get a white surface here so we can see the pepper now. All the way to fine, let's see what we got here. And there it goes. Oh, you can actually see the blue light on this white surface a little better. Let me do 1 turn and keep going. 1 turn all the way around. Oh, it smells like pepper in here. All right, here we go, 1 more turn. All right, this was all the way to fine. That was about 1 turn, and that was about 2 turns. I can see the difference. It does have this nice blue light here. I'm gonna turn the lights off and you can see how it looks. All right, as you can tell, I'm not much of a fan of blue light, but we'll deal with it anyways. Here we go. Now, whoa, very cool. Very cool. Both at the same time. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, I never thought I'd really geek out at a salt and pepper mill, but I kind of like these. They're kind of cool. Never seen anything quite like this before, but I'm definitely kind of a fan of these. I'm definitely going to be displaying these for Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll undersalt my food a little bit so people have to use them. Hey, try the new salt shaker. See how you like that. How they hold up long term, I'm not sure, but on the first couple uses, I definitely like them. Next up, I've got the Adjust a Cup, which is a great name to begin with. It's a measuring cup that has all sorts of measurements and it all can be done in 1 unit. Let's take a look back at the unboxing and then get started. Let's take a look at the Adjust a Cup. I paid $17.76 for this. Very minimal packaging, by the way. Now, the claims are that you can measure ingredients with ease, can be used for dry or liquid ingredients. You can measure from 1/8 of a cup all the way up to 2 cups, all with the same tool. Saves space, easy to use, includes pint, cup, ounce, and millimeter markings. People on Amazon who liked it, some people said it was simple, easy to clean, and does save space. Some people said it's good for thick items like peanut butter or honey. Those who didn't like it, several people called it flimsy or more difficult to use than regular measuring spoons. I did notice up here it does say twist to adjust. Really all you have to do is just kind of find the measurement you want and supposedly it'll work. I'm hoping that this is airtight so that the water doesn't drip down below, but I'll test that out. Let's start with something basic and see what happens here. Now I'm gonna try, let me see, I gotta find the cup. There's the cup measurements here. I've got that stopper right at 1 cup. There is a line on the top here, which I believe is the fill line. So it should be from here to here is 1 cup, but we'll measure that out to be sure. I've got some basic oats here. Not too much spillage, just a little bit. So that does look like about 1 cup. Let's double check the measurement with an actual 1 cup measuring cup and see what happens. All right, I'd say that's pretty accurate. I'm throwing at softballs now, but we'll get harder as we go. I guess I kind of need to rinse this out already. My question is, can you scoop with this? I've got it measured to a 1/2 cup. Now, can I scoop with this? That's the question. Oh, I can scoop. I am scooping. And it seemed to be pretty good. I wasn't sure how scoopable it was, but it seems rather scoopable. Let's pour it in here and double check the measurement now. Let me just measure this out and see how close that is. I would say measurement-wise it's pretty accurate. Rinsing it off is pretty easy because it comes apart and you can dry it off pretty quickly. So the rinsing off feature is pretty nice. All right, so far I found out that you can scoop with it and it seems like it retains its measurement, and also the fact that the measurements seem pretty accurate. But let's see how airtight it is for liquid items. I've got 1 cup of water carefully measured out. So I'm gonna check the accuracy one more time, and I'm gonna pour some water in there and see how watertight it is on the bottom and see if it leaks out or not. Pretty close to the fill line. It's maybe 1/8 of an inch away. Maybe margin of error would probably be okay. Now let's see, is it leaking? Well, it is not leaking. I guess I kind of wish there was maybe more of a spout on one side. That might be help pouring easier, but so far it hasn't seemed to be too bad. Now there was no instructions that I got, but online there's some instructions that says to only hand wash and dry immediately, not to put in the dishwasher. I washed it 3 times during my test, and so far the numbers are holding up. So I'm hoping that long term the numbers stay on there. But overall, my first impression is that the Adjust-A cup works pretty well. But let's move on to the next adjustable item there, and that is the Adjust-A tablespoon here. Let's flash back to the unboxing and then get started. I paid $16.45 for this, and it's currently an Amazon's choice. Now they claim that it has an award-winning design that's good for dry or wet ingredients, can measure from 1/2 of a teaspoon up to 1 tablespoon, saves space, easy to use. The pros reported online, most people liked it, said it does save a ton of drawer space over regular measuring spoons. Those who didn't like it, some people said it's difficult to adjust or stiff at first. Others said it's just not good for liquids. A few people said it just doesn't hold up over time. Now, one thing people online were saying is this is kind of stiff to use. Now, they say to put some oil in there before the first few uses, so I put some oil in here and just kind of worked it back and forth over and over again. It seems like that may have loosened it a little bit. It's still kind of stiff to adjust, but it's better than when I first tried it out, so I think the oil did help a little bit. And also, this slider comes right off. You can take that off to clean it. We've got from 1/2 teaspoon all the way to tablespoon. Let's first check the accuracy and try that out. Let's start with a big old tablespoon here. I'm gonna fill this up with salt. There's a leveled tablespoon of salt. Let's compare it against this tablespoon spoon and see how accurate that is. It seems pretty accurate. It's not all the way to the top, but I would say pretty close. Let's go on the other extreme and try a 1/2 teaspoon. That's what we got. Let's try it against a regular measuring spoon here. 1/2 teaspoon. I would say that's pretty close. Let's see how scoopable this one is. Let's do 2 teaspoons of flour. I'm gonna scoop it out. It's about the same as using a regular spoon. I don't have a 2 teaspoon spoon here, but the experience is pretty much the same, so no real difference there. The only real difference is that this one you can measure multiple things with it. What I want to know though is if this slider will keep any liquids from going behind it. Because if you got a small measurement here, there's still all this space back there that could potentially be filled up. I'll go right in the middle here, about 1.5 teaspoons. I'm going to pour some nice thick agave nectar in there. And I'm just going to let it sit for a while and see if it ends up oozing back or if it stays within its confined area. We shall see about that. It's been about 5 minutes. Let's check it out. And it seems like it's retained it in the front section there. So it looks like the liquids are not going to spill back into that back section there. So I do think it's kind of watertight back there. All right, so the final step with this one, just like the adjusted cup, is to wash it off and see what happens. I'm going to go through several washings to see if anything happens. Some people are reporting problems with it, but you're also not supposed to put this one in the dishwasher either. So let me go wash it off a few times to see what happens. All right, so I washed this one off as well, and it came out pretty nice. So both these I washed about 3 times with warm soapy water, dried off immediately per the instructions, and I'm not going to put them in the dishwasher either. Hopefully the numbers hold up long term, but we shall see. But as far as all 3 of these products goes, I like all of them. But the salt and pepper mill are definitely my favorite. But if you've used any of these, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.